Cora asks, why do I love some prog rock like Pink Floyd, Jethro Tull, ELO, and the Decemberists, but
Okay.
really don't like
Oh,
some
the
prog rock?
Decemberists.
The
Yeah.
Decemberists is okay. I don't really, because I like
Interesting.
some of those bands too that they mentioned.
But he goes,
So sorry, what was the end there? Yeah.
I don't really like some prog rock like Yes, ELP, and Rush. And believe it or
Right.
not, Simon Simonian, avid prog listener for over 350 years, answered this question in a way that I wouldn't have expected. He goes, no offense to anyone, but the personal preference, blah blah, is an easy way out BS answer. I can definitely
What? Wait. Okay. I'm
The
gonna hear that.
subjective
Yeah.
enjoyment of music.
That's a fucking bullshit. Let me tell you why you don't like this. Oh, wait, I'm excited to hear this.
This guy's great. It's an easy way out BS answer. I can definitely relate to your likes and dislikes, so let me take a crack at it and give you my 2 cents.
Oh,
The liked bands that you have listed are all pretty easy to absorb and digest.
Insulting him. It is answer.
We got a guy. We got a guy here with a big brain. Big
this
brain.
guy is so big. It's just like, yeah. The reason you like these ones is because it's like your dumbass can even fucking understand this shit. But the other stuff, like, yes, that's fucking a little more. All right, let's hear.
It's all pretty easy to absorb and digest. Pink Floyd, Jethro Tull, ELO, Genesis, the Moody Blues. That's what I call an easy listening prog. Pink Floyd specifically on most songs.
listening prog.
That's what he calls it.
His thing is that anybody can listen to that crap.
Good.
He's always saying that to people, and people are like, "What? Sorry, who are you? I'm here with someone else."
This is like sub genre of sub genre. This is okay.
Yeah, this guy's getting a little too deep into it, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, Pink Floyd,
Easy professor, like,
he is.
you know.
Oh, he's gonna go off. Believe me. Pink Floyd, specifically on most songs, stick to a simpler structure, more pleasing for the ears. They try to avoid time signature changes, complex beats, and in general, stay on the familiar, proven territory. And maybe that's why they're the most successful prog rock band.
Is that can we ask? Is that true, Steven? That they? Like,
I mean,
for the most part, do you think that's true?
Yeah, I would think in terms of like all of those bands, they probably have, if you were to like go by a metric of like record sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the closest.
I would say Rush.
Like Rush.
But maybe this guy doesn't even consider Rush prog.
Well,
possible.
Right.
And I saw a lot of people say that one guy I know for sure thinks Pink Floyd isn't prog, and that man's name is Michael Noland. So
Michael Noland is a fucking idiot. He's a fucking moron.
Compare that to Yes, ELP, King Crimson, Gentle Giant, and unless you've been an avid prog rock listener for centuries, it will take some effort for you to get into their music. Quote.
Centuries is what he said.
Yeah, totally.
Old. These guys are weirdly all are saying they're 350 years old.
So since you have to basically have an unbroken line back to the classical and romantic influences.
You have to live to be 112, and you have to get into it early in your life.
What is his name again?
This is Simon Simonian.
So Simon Simonian was like saw the premiere of the Ring cycle, like for Wagner, right? And he's like, if you don't appreciate it the way I do,
you had to have seen it live.
Yeah.
I would love.
He was
to make
in that concert
movie.
house in Vienna, baby.
We got to make that movie. We got to make the Simon Simonian movie. He just goes around and tells people they're not prog for like 400 years. So he goes, it'll take some effort for you to, quote, get into their music, as it will instantly take you out of your comfort zone. Take Topographic Ocean or Relayer or any good album by ELP. God, hard as hell to follow. Can't just close your eyes and travel to another dimension like you would with Floyd. My only advice, this is the weird part. My only advice to you is don't give up. It took me 20
that's
years.
Good advice, and that's just good life advice.
It took me 20 years to get into Yes and ELP, and I still have not been able to immerse myself fully into King Crimson. So he tried for 20 years.
This motherfucker was like, for 19 years, this guy was like, no. And then finally he came around.
He said yes.
Finally.
He's listening. He's
Uh,
listening to it. He's just constantly listening to Yes. And when
That's
he gets done with
actually-
the album, he's like,
No,
nope.
that's
not for me.
fucked though. It like I'm sure he wasn't doing it, but I'm imagining him like trying it for that long, like just like listening to it the whole time and being like, "Fuck, man, this is still awful to me."
Not yet.
Not yet, but then eventually
I've
he's
listened
just
around
like,
about 600 times.
He's like, he's around. Okay, yeah, that kind of does. Yeah.
I'm just not into like making myself like something over 20 years.
Yeah, I give up on stuff pretty quickly. Like I understand there's some
That's-
stuff you gotta give a chance. Like, but there's just so much stuff out there now that I'm like, I'm gonna move on to the next thing.
Well, I went to the
But see, I think
subreddit.
again, he's got the big brain,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He's got the big brain where he's not worried about subjectivity.
No.
He's like he knows that objectively this is like the correct music to like.
Yeah.
So
that's
he
what-
has to,
Mhm.
you know.
These posters, a lot of them. That's kind of this is a place where it's like somewhat acceptable to like talk that way.
Yeah.
Just be like,
Quora
no,
especially.
this is the way it is because people are asking a question. You know.
Yeah, Quora is especially like you could just be a authority. It's wonderful for this show. I went to the subreddit prog rock music, our prog rock music, and this question was asked by Prog for Eva 2112.
The Rush record. The Rush
Yeah.
record. Nice.
I
Nice.
listened to that yesterday. Actually, I listened to 2112 yesterday. I listened
Great
to a little
record.
Rush over the past few days to like get my. I also listened to some Dream Theater, but I started to
Oh,
find
yeah.
myself enjoying Dream Theater, so I stopped.
Oh
listening.
yeah, you got to cut that out. Yeah,
yeah,
you
I
can't have that.
I don't want to have
No.
anything to do with them.